Sattler Files.
And welcome back to the Sattler Files. And this is Law and Order. We talked to Inspector Neil Royle, retired. I always have to put that word in.
You chuck that one in, people won't believe you otherwise.
Got to just chuck in there that you're retired. Doesn't mean that you're long and gone, just means
I'm out of the loop but not loopy.
The constraints are off, so you can talk to us about anything you want to talk to us about.
And we'll have a lovely exchange today because good old Murray is not with us.
Murray's feeling a little under the weather today, so if you're listening, Murray, we miss you. We will catch up with you when you return.
And we want no criticism, okay, because we're going to do the best we can without you being here, Murray. So Desmond will carry the can. And
I'll have to carry the can. Don't blame Neil, blame me.
Brilliant.
Right, okay. Federal election 2016. We've seen a lot of fallout from that election.
Yep.
Now, Julie Bishop.
Yeah, Julie, someone's copped her using her mobile phone while she drove along Grayson
Which is
Highway.
an incredibly stupid thing to do for anybody, let alone the foreign minister.
Exactly, and of course, she can't even sort of melt into the background because she's quite recognisable.
Yeah, very recognisable.
And, of course, someone's taken a photograph.
If you don't recognise her face, you at least recognise the pearls.
Absolutely. He's got plenty of them. So she's driving along Grayson Highway and she's obviously doing something on her phone. So someone takes a photograph and sends it in. And that's, and she's apologised for it and so forth. I would have thought the most magnanimous thing she could have done perhaps is say, look, that is bad. Give me a ticket and I'll pay it.
Well, what is it, a $400 fine?
Yep. And
do you think she should have copped the demerit points as well?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's part of the deal.
I would have thought so.
I would think so.
But then she wouldn't have a clean driving record, would she?
Well, she might be a zero hero.
Would that then somehow hamper her political aspirations?
Wouldn't have thought so. It's not the great train robbery.
True.
So, but it is...
and it's not a drink driving offence.
No, and for a smart person, it's a pretty unsmart thing to do, if that's a good word to use. But what gets me is what the police spokesman, and I always worry about police spokesmen. I've been a police spokesman in the past, but people always stuck my name on the end of it, so people would know then that police spokesman is me, and that what I've said I'm accountable for.
Well, you have to stand by it, yes.
Exactly right. So it always worries me that a police spokesman said. It gives me the impression that someone is going to say something but doesn't want it attached to their name in case it's not absolutely correct.
So they send out a print release,
They do. They do.
In print.
They do. And so what I don't get is that the police are not going to... The police are saying that the Foreign Minister, Julie Bishop, could get off scot-free for using her mobile phone while driving. Because police said they needed a member of the public to make a complaint before investigating. What are they saying here? What are they saying? So if someone took a photograph of someone being stabbed to death in the street and nobody complained, and the police got that information by way of a DVD or a photograph, that the police couldn't be their own complainant? Of course they can be their own complainant.
But according to this story, the witness told Fairfax Media...
Oop.
That Ms. Bishop was on her phone for about 2 minutes because she saw her in her Toyota Yaris with her face on the side of the... It was obviously she was in campaign mode.
Yep.
So there she was. So there is a witness somewhere along the line, but where is this witness gone now that they need them?
Oh, they can have a witness.
It's incredible how Fairfax Media can find a witness, but the police can't.
Yeah, well, all of us that looked at the footage have witnessed it. But actually the person who took the photograph is the one who's going to give the primary evidence should it come to a case. And it never, ever would go to court, never in a million years. If someone had said, well, give her a ticket, and she would not decline to pay the ticket, she'd pay it and move on.
She would.
But they're saying, well, there's no complainant, so nothing can happen.
But interestingly enough, another high-profile person was caught doing exactly the same thing 6 months ago, and that would be the lovely Mr. Shorten.
Of course.
Bill Shorten.
Yep.
Now, he was condemned from all parts, from all sides.
Well, he's not as good looking as Julie Bishop.
Well, perhaps he isn't. Perhaps that's what it is. I mean, what did he say? He said, there's no excuse for it. I shouldn't have done it and I won't do it again. So what's that? He got the slap on her wrist.
But he didn't get a ticket.
He didn't get a ticket either, did he?
No, but she's just moved away from it and said, I don't think she said a whole lot, did she?
She hasn't said much at all, I don't think.
No, just moved away. So to my mind, I think the police, if they were serious about it, they'd give her a ticket.
Yeah.
So we've seen it there. Certainly,
you think that'll keep the public at bay? You think that will keep everyone quiet?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say so.
All right.
I would say so.
Well, darling, you know better than I do. I mean, you are the inspector.
It used to be. But, and I don't think you would get any whinge from her office, whatever.
No.
And she'd just take her lumps and move on.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen now because there's no complainant, and that's fine. So, yeah, good. That's easy to start the day with.
All right. Who else are we going to talk about today?
Let's talk about some more lady politicians.
Lady politicians.
Yeah,
Ooh, let me just off the top of my head, could it be Pauline Hanson you want to talk about?
I just need to touch on a couple of things. And I don't really care what Pauline Hanson's got to say for herself. And it surprises me that she gets back into the Senate and so forth.
The media love her.
I know, because she says some outrageous and dopey things.
But they absolutely love her.
They dine out on her.
She makes for good footage. She makes good copy. She is outrageous. She says everything that people are too scared to say, but she says it anyway. And she does, and they stick her on programs, ABC programs like Q&A. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm sick of hearing about that program.
And they load it up with all sorts.
Now, if Murray Cork was here today, he would have a lot to say about Q&A. You wouldn't get a word in because Q&A is one of his nemesis. He hates it.
I rarely watch it. I just some bits and pieces. This one actually, it was forced down your throat because of what happened on Q&A with her, and not so much. Or certainly she didn't come across that flash when in response to the questions they put to her, and they certainly did give it to her.
Oh, they don't make it easy for her.
No,
and of course they cut and paste and edit to their heart's content.
And they know she's going to be on the back foot all the time.
Yeah, and she is because they torture her.
And she had a Labor member sitting beside her. I don't know where he's a senator from or a member of Parliament from, but he's Labor anyway, sitting right beside her, and he says that he's a practicing Muslim, which shocked and astounded her. And she went on and on and on. Are you you're what? You really are? You are? Yeah. And I thought, oh, leave it alone, Pauline, leave it alone. But it went on and on. But what astounds me is, so there was the We Love You Pauline faction outside the ABC studios, and there was the other side of We Hate You Pauline faction outside the studios. And finger waving and tongue poking and so forth, and it sort of made way for cute remarks and comments, and then abuse, and then threats, and all sorts of things, and the cops come along.
Yeah.
So the comparison I'm trying to draw here is to pick any party in Western Australia in recent years where uninvited guests have crashed a party and about 200 people end up out in the streets, and the police get called and they throw bottles at police cars and all this sort of stuff there, and someone gets a move-on notice.
Yeah.
No, not outside the ABC studios and wherever it was that Pauline was at. When the two factions are at loggerheads outside, 5 of them get arrested.
Just for being out the front.
5 of them get arrested for doing whatever they're doing. And I'm dying to know what the charges are. It'd have to be something to do with pushing and shoving police, I would think, because otherwise, why would 5 get arrested?
Well, there are no. What are the unlawful assembly laws now?
I don't know if they still exist. The 54B and all those ones.
Yeah, Section 54B.
Yeah, I don't know that they still.
Wasn't that Bjelke Peterson's little brainchild?
Yeah, I think, and they use it to great extent in Western Australia as well. They had protests in the street about the 54Bs, and people dressed up as bumblebees and so forth, as you recall, in the street.
I do indeed.
Unfortunately,
sad to say, I remember it well, and it was a long time ago.
So your memory's still there, which is good.
Yes.
So firstly, yeah, Pauline Hanson gets to shoot her mouth off a fair bit, and she's entitled to do so. Sonia Kruger has jumped on the same bandwagon. It's not doing Sonia any good either.
No, and a friend of this program, Rabia Siddiqui, has also jumped in.
Okay.
She's been interviewed as well. She's actually ex-military, but a Muslim woman but a modern Muslim woman, and she's put her point across, which she's very much entitled to do. So but why? It's just stirring the pot. Everyone's throwing their little bits in, and the story's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly, and there's no
for no apparent reason, really.
Well, there's no getting away from the fact that it's obvious that all Muslims are not terrorists.
We've worked that one out.
It's easy. It's like all Eagles football players, not druggies. So it's just one of those, and now you draw this real line. But and Sonia Kruger, who wants to be very careful because she's digging a grave with her tongue the way she goes.
Yeah.
Because she won't back down from it. And she says, "Righto, we stop immigration for all Muslims," and she's going on and on with it. So she's not doing herself any good. And unfortunately, Pauline will always rise to the bait whenever chucks her a curly question.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Always will. So, yeah.
Somebody told me Pauline gets paid for her Channel 7 appearances.
Oh.
So,
Well,
yeah, why?
is that because she's so much in demand for everybody else as well?
Well, obviously
if
she
you want me to pay
charges.
for me.
She charges because she can.
Oh, wonderful stuff.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know whether you knew that,
I
but
didn't know.
I
It's new one to me.
have heard it on good authority. And if I'm wrong, somebody please tell me. But yeah, incredible.
So, we're giving Pauline a bit of a good morning, Pauline, and
Yeah,
good morning, Julie,
Pauline.
and good morning, Sonia.
We've got an interview with Pauline we did only a couple of months ago. I might replay that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was on the campaign trail, we spoke to her.
Good.
Yep.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So,
She's always interesting.
I suppose moving from political figures to the political genre, environment and so forth, let's have a look at Cheltenham Senior High School for Girls. You ever heard of them?
Well, I've heard of them, but not for the right reasons.
It is the upmarket girls' school in Sydney. They've got some problems here at the minute because the school has decided and instructed their teachers that they are to eliminate gender-specific terms from vocabularies when it comes to referring to their students. So, as it is now, this prestigious Northwest Sydney school has asked the teachers to stop referring to their students as girls, ladies, and women.
Oh, for God's sake.
And use only gender-neutral language. So what do you say? Oi, hey, mush.
All
Hey,
you people.
listen, Bullfed, want to give more numbers. You, L26, and you, B13. Sit down, R2-D2.
So they can't be young ladies anymore.
No, none of them.
No,
Can't
no
be
more
ladies, girls, or women.
Goodness
So
sake.
they give this instruction to the teachers as part of the implementation of the Safe Schools anti-bullying program.
How does not calling them girls or women or anything else stop bullying? Makes no difference. I mean, what do you do that? The only reason you do that is you've had transgender children at your school who may be a target of bullying because of their sexual orientation. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
So I wonder if all the teachers at Cheltenham are female teachers or male teachers or a mixture. You know, I've never been to a girls' school other than to get thrown out from time to time.
There are usually male teachers, not as many as female teachers, but they're definitely there because affirmative action, all the rest of it, they can't discriminate when they're hiring because somebody's a man or a woman.
So if I was a male teacher at that school there and the principal has said, you stopped using the term girls, ladies and women, so I'll say, well, can I substitute for girls chickie or hottie?
I got to tell you, Neil, I don't think that'll cross the line.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't think that's going to work.
I'm sure some of the young girls, ladies and women who are there wouldn't mind being referred to the same way rather than sort of as...
It's a compliment.
As Ruffy, bush pig or dog.
Yeah, please.
So you can't. So I don't know. I hope the people that send their girls to that school are paying big dollars for this to put their children there because I'm sure that the Safe Schools program guidelines has stretched its boundaries now to encompass this rather outrageous and ridiculous situation.
Now I'm going to talk to you about something close to my heart because it drives me crazy because it's everywhere. You get attacked on Facebook, you get attacked via your mobile phone, via your computer, and that is scammers and cold callers who...
Yeah. Can't you block it? You're supposed to have something on your phone to block that sort of stuff. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Exactly.
No.
I mean, you can say... I mean, I know I very rarely pick up a call when it says private number.
Yep.
Because I almost guaranteed it's going to be somebody that shouldn't be ringing you.
Between high noon and 1 p.m. and between 4:30 and just after 5, that's when the private...
And when they say, Madam, this will only take a moment. We just want you to fill in a quick survey.
Yep.
I go, no, thank you. And I hang up.
And I counted one the other day where the person rang up and I think they were trying to sell me solar panels, I think. But he couldn't pronounce my first name or my surname properly. So
he obviously wasn't a resident of Australia.
No, he wasn't.
This was coming from a call centre somewhere.
I think so.
Somewhere else in the world.
So when he said Mr. Riley, or would he call me, and I said, "Have I won the Mercedes?" He said, "No, Mercedes, no. Is it yellow?"
Well, so there lies the trap. what they do is they put these competitions online, and vulnerable people think, oh, this is a competition, I might be able to win. Who's going to win a Mercedes over the Facebook, for goodness sake?
I thought I was going to.
Grow a brain. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. So when you click onto those sites, you're automatically giving them access to your details. So you're leaving yourself open to internet fraud, identity fraud, and all sorts of things, because once they can get into your computer, they can get into your bank account.
So when I write my book, Gullible's Travels,
you must include scammers.
It'd be in there. Because I had one.
But old people, it happens to the mature Australians who have just wrangled using the internet. They manage it. They know what they really are very good at it because they're practicing every day. So when something like that comes up, they don't know, is this true? Is this false? There is no real way of knowing.
The best one is the one, I got one a fortnight ago from a fellow who purported to be from the Australian Tax Office.
Oh, yes.
And that
how much tax did you owe?
I'm going to get a letter very shortly to prosecute me for X amount of dollars for, and that's what's going on and on. And I'm trying to get a word in because he's reading what he's saying to me. And if you do not pay within so and so, then the police will come around and arrest you. And
well, at least you know that the ATO never ring you.
Exactly right. Exactly.
They find you via your accountant or by mail.
Yep.
They never actually call.
No, and I thought, I wake up this idiot with this, but there'll be those out there who won't be, who'll be frightened to think the police are going to come around knocking on the door and arrest them.
Of course.
So
as if the police have got nothing better to do than come and arrest tax evaders. I don't think so.
And it happens also with Telstra, and it happens with other companies as well, and big agencies. But I find that I've stopped doing it now, but when I was contacting the ATO and Telstra, and they weren't all that fussed.
No.
They said, there's a fair bit of that going on.
Yeah, no, they can't be bothered.
Yeah, just ignore that. That's fine,
no,
thanks.
You got to do what we did because Howard got scammed. Well, not scammed. He basically clicked on to sites offering prizes or whatever, and then suddenly, unwittingly, became a subscriber to these mobile phone apps.
Yep.
Anyway, we went, all sorted out, got it all fixed, and actually got the money refunded. So, people, if this happens to you, you can go back and redress the situation. And
you need to as well. And
these people have got to be stopped.
And there's obviously lots of money to be made because there's
They're
plenty of suckers out there. And there's lots of them
They're all doing it.
And the one about you've got all this inheritance money.
I'm a lawyer from Nigeria.
Yeah, that's right. And just give us your BSB and whatever it is and give us $1,000 up front.
Doesn't that throw up a warning bell, though, when you know that you've never had a relation who lived in Nigeria?
Exactly. But, the people see the ka-ching, ka-ching, and think, oh, wow, $200,000 sitting over there waiting for me to go cop up 1,000. I get it. Yoo-hoo, you beauty.
Yeah, if it was that easy, we'd all be happy.
Yeah, and as a wise man once said, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Is too good to be true.
And as W.C. Fields once said, there's a sucker born every minute, and that's still going on.
Well, in your time in the force, you would have heard every excuse known to man.
There's beauties.
You would have heard every single permutation of a story.
True. And the more ridiculous the stories and the accusers get is in the more desperate situations.
Yeah.
When
the explanation becomes so long and so involved you can't follow it.
That's right.
And that sets off the alarm.
And you think, this
is a lie.
This guy knows the chips are down. So he's cutting at every straw that goes past.
Every
this
single
drowning fellow.
I watch a lot of crime programs and I always don't so much laugh, but have they read their rights? So this whole Miranda thing comes on, and I'm going, I think I know it off by heart by now.
I like it best where in those crime shows where the baddie gets a real big flogging while he's being arrested and he's fighting with the cops and shooting and he gets a big flogging and they put him on the ground and kneel and handcuff him and so forth.
Put your hands behind your back and they handcuff him, put their
then they take him to the
knees
police car.
into his back.
They take him to the police car and they push his head down so he doesn't bump it into the top of the car. You just flogged this guy for the last half an hour and what's your head there, fellow?
He's a hated serial killer and all of a sudden you're worrying about him banging his head on the door.
What's your head there? When you get in, careful.
Maybe that's because the dash cam's working on that part of the
And they
proceedings.
all do it. I wait for them to do it. No, they all do it.
It's funny, isn't it?
They all do it. And I also, it concerns me where I know people are innocent until proven guilty in this country here, but you're not allowed to see anybody's face, no matter who they are, what they are. And in fact...
Victim...
Well,
defendant,
defendants
alleged
mainly.
offendant,
Alleged offendant. Lovely word, alleged.
Saves you. Can save you in a tight situation. Alleged.
It can save you when it comes to the laws of the land as far as litigation processes go as well. So, actually, if the police have got a baddie or an alleged baddie and take him in and they know he's about to be exposed to the media, the police are obliged to give him something to cover up with. If he's got nothing, they're obliged to give him something.
So, if he hasn't got a hoodie that he can put over his face, you've got to give
him something.
Okay.
Give him something. I thought this is remarkable. And yet,
is this all about the jury pool that, they might see their picture on the media and then be called for jury duty a year later and suddenly it reminds them? I mean, who are we protecting?
And the irony of it all is, if you really want to know what he looks like, go and sit in the court.
Yeah, you can go and sit in the court.
And you can hear the whole yarn and look at his head and all the rest of it there.
Or check his Facebook account.
Exactly.
It's all there for one and all.
And it is. We love it.
Oh, we do indeed. Now, I know we can't go through a day of Law and Order, which I know this has nothing to do with Law and Order, but you do love talking about it, and that's football. But this time I'm going to talk about a serious injury that occurred over the weekend. An East Perth player was injured.
Yes.
And the fallout from that.
Yeah, I do, and it is because it was all captured on footage on television. And the guy got slung and got injured, which is terrible, and it is a contact sport.
How's he doing now?
Well, Channel 7
last I heard he was breathing unassisted.
And moved his right arm and moved his left arm and all
that's
those,
starting
all
to
those
sound good.
good positive things, because Channel 7 did half their program last night outside RPH.
I saw that.
And yes, I know it's a terrible thing, but yes, I say again, it is a contact sport, and people will get injured.
People get injured.
And
I mean, you can do a hammy just getting off the bench.
Well, exactly right. And this Mitchell Antonio, who was the player from West Perth who applied the tackle.
Yes.
They gave him 10 weeks. 10 weeks they gave him for that.
I thought, I am amazed and I'm shocked. But I mean, he could have gone out on the field, as I was saying to you before we came on air. He could have gone out on the field with a bag full of drugs and attacked people or shoved syringes in them or whatever, and he still wouldn't have got 10 weeks.
Well, and I don't know this poor young fella. And I know it's not good for Chatley, who's got neck and spinal cord damage, so the media say. The doctor's not saying a whole lot, but the media are saying this. Yeah, but this guy's gone there to apply a tackle.
The West Perth player hasn't gone out there to kill him. All he wanted to do was get the ball.
That's right. And it was one of those horrible days of football where it'd be like playing in the shower because everything is slippery and everything falling. And he's got this guy and he's playing, and the tackle looked pretty well innocuous to me, but never mind. Obviously, he'd been injured.
It didn't look that good, but it wasn't that bad either.
No, well, it wasn't his intention to go out there to assault this person to occasion bodily harm. It was not his intention. He's there playing football, trying to get the ball. So I don't know what Messi's 10 weeks is saying. And I don't. When it comes to this young fella, Mitchell Antonio, he might never play again.
No, he may not.
After that, he'd be too.
He may never work. He may never work again. We don't know.
Well, if it comes to pass, and heaven forbid that Chatley has permanent injuries, this is going to play on this Antonio's mind for the rest of his life, no doubt. And he'd probably be too frightened to play the game again in case something else happens. Or the other side of the coin, there'll be those in the opposite sides who will never let him forget it either.
Who want to retaliate.
And there'll be the gamesmanship rules that go in there, and in his ear and in his face and all the rest of it there. It is a very sad situation. I don't know that this guy deserved a 10-week suspension for something that, well, I think when Kickett punched up about 16 Eagles in the Derby one time, and he got 8 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. 8 weeks was pretty good, but and Kickett went out there and there's a big melee in the forward line, and he punched about 4 of them.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. But he got 8 weeks for that, and he was shaping up to him.
Well, that was deserved.
He was shaping up to him with intent to punch him out.
No, he wasn't after the ball, and it wasn't
not this kid.
It wasn't an accident.
He's flung somebody, and someone's got injured. Never mind. Greater minds than ours have decided that's the way to go for that one.
I think anything else you want to talk to me about?
I don't think so. I
think we've covered a fair bit. We've done politics. We've done
some law and order issues.
We have done some law and order issues, but we like the fact that Neil Royle, you always have an opinion on everything.
Well, everyone's got an opinion. Some are good, some are bad, but you're certainly entitled to it.
We're all entitled to them. Thank you. This has been Law and Order on the Sattler Files. Back shortly with more.
This is the Sattler Files.
DevWright Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At DevWright Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about DevWright Homes at www.devwright.com.au.
You need banking services of any type. Secure Force Protective Services run a cash and transit service here in Perth. From as little as $25, why risk your employees travelling to the bank when Secure Force can do it for you? Give us a call at 9440-5011.
You only ever want the best for your family, and no one understands this better than the caring ladies at Marina Perslow and Associates. That's why we offer Australia's leading prepaid funeral plan. It means your family won't be left with the added strain of organising your funeral, and everything will be taken care of, all the little details. Your family will have the support they need with a woman's touch and gentle understanding. So leave them with loving memories and leave the rest to us. Visit marinaperslowfunerals.com.au or phone 9388 1623.
I'm John Hughes. If you want a hassle-free, very enjoyable and happy experience when buying your next vehicle, come to me in Victoria Park. I personally train all my salespeople to be non-pushy, friendly and professional, and we always strive to provide first-class before and after-sales service to all of my customers. So choose your dealer before you choose your car. That's John Hughes in Victoria Park, your car buying destination. DL 6061.
This is the Sattler Files.